All right, everybody ready? Good? All right, good afternoon, everybody. I'm going to go ahead and call this meeting of the Zoning Board of Appeals to order right now. If we could all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Okay, let's see here. Next item here is just to identify any potential conflicts from anybody up here on the panel. Any of the items coming up today? Nope, hearing none. All right, no conflicts. Next is number 4 here is approval of the minutes from last month, April 20th. Do we have any?
Motion to approve the minutes as they were given to us.
We have a motion to approve. We have a second. Any discussion? Hearing none. All in motion to pass the minutes?
Aye.
Say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none. Minutes from last month are passed. Okay, moving on here. Item number 5, we have a variance application, and I'm probably going to really wreck this name. Variance application by Juhani and Susan Cavisto. Am I close? Requesting to construct a detached 25-foot by 25-foot garage, 625 square feet, located 13 feet to the north of the home with a new driveway on North Avenue. There is currently an attached single-car garage that is accessed from a driveway on Blackstock Avenue. This property has 2 front yards, which are Blackstock Avenue and North Avenue, located at 418 Blackstock Avenue. Sir, if you'd like to come up to the podium and let us know what you have for us today.
Do we have a survey of that?
I'm
There
sure.
was no survey.
Steve, that's why Steve's not here?
What? No survey, no Steve? Nope. Okay, I'm sorry, go ahead.
So, yeah, I did not know I have to have a survey for that, so.
Survey is not required prior to.
Oh, it's not? Okay.
We have a drawing with some dimensions on it.
Did you look at it already?
I did.
What's your,
We'll let him talk
Yeah,
and say
go
what
ahead.
he'd like
Tell
to do
us.
first.
Well, it's a real basic, just a garage to build in the backyard, that's all. And I did get a permit for curb cutting on the North Street, so, and you should have that here as well. And there's plenty of room for the garage as far as the neighbors.
Okay.
Okay, so Jeff.
So, staff did look at this. He does have an attached garage right now, a small 1-car on Blackstock Avenue with a short driveway. He was asking for a second garage, a 2-car garage, on the north side of the house, which is technically his second front yard. And the drawing that was supplied has dimensions on it, says that it's 13 feet from the house, and then a 25-foot garage, and another 25-foot to the property line, to the north property line, which meets zoning requirements. When staff looked at it, we aren't positive that those dimensions are accurate, but at this point, that is not what the variance is for. The variance request is for a second garage. At the time, if the board would approve this, and the survey is taken, if the garage cannot fit within the requirements, then you would have to come back for a second variance.
so we could approve it subject to the appraisal or the survey, and enough room to do it. Is that what we're saying?
Correct. Again, he's saying he's got 13 feet between the house and the garage. He could always move that garage closer to the house to meet the 25-foot setback to the north property line.
What is it now, 10 feet or 15? Detached garage has to be from the house.
Well, if you're closer than 10 feet, you have to have a firewall.
10 walls.
So you can be up to 3 feet. You can be very close to the house if needed.
He's got plenty of room to move.
He could move, yes.
Okay, so is there an issue having the 2 garages though?
That would be yes, that's the question. Staff looked at it, and as far as the garage being located, the new garage location matches the neighbors in the area. off of North Avenue. Neighbors on both sides have garages in similar locations, so staff did not really see an issue with the request.
Okay. Anybody have any other questions, comments?
So it's more the question of having a 3-car garage than
Having two separate garages.
and having 2 separate garages, okay. And there's no pictures or nothing to supply, to look at it today. I'm looking at
they're in the
her
packet.
email.
I'll make a motion that we approve it, subject to the survey coming out, that there's enough.
Well, I guess the question is, if he has to supply a survey, and he has to supply, like, what it's gonna look like, and if that doesn't fall into the requirements, then he would have to come back again. So is there a way that we can table this for him to get that information to us instead of having to come back twice and get charged twice? You know what I mean? I'm trying to avoid that double charge for you. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
I understand what you're trying to say.
You know, it's no different than they didn't supply the information that they, you know, I wouldn't want to approve it and then he'd come back again and then he can't do it. You know, I'd rather, I guess, table it for a month or 2 for him to get that work and come back and get approved. When were you looking at possibly putting this in?
As soon as I get a.
The approval.
Yes.
So if we would table this for a month, would you be able to supply the information that we would be required to be able to approve it? And then you would only have to come back one more time.
Yeah, I can do that.
Do you know what I mean?
So you're looking at having him supply a survey to verify the dimensions?
Right. And then we would approve it based on him supplying that information, and then he can move forward with his project instead of having to come back to us again another time.
I guess that's.
Because that would delay you 2 months, maybe even 3 at that point, where now you could come back one more time with the information that we need to answer all the questions and then be able to start your project right away.
All right, as long as I know what you need, I'm more than happy
Sure.
to provide that.
Sure. So we would need a survey
Okay,
explaining the dimensions of what the building is you want to build, how far it is away from your existing building, and then what materials you're going to make it out of.
yeah, I believe we did give all that papers over here. It was drawn and,
There's just not a
yeah,
We have,
and there was
survey.
explanation, no survey there was not.
That's,
But
okay,
explanation that it will matches the house,
okay.
so.
And I think on most of those topics is fine, it's just, we want to make sure that that's in the requirements. And if there's a possibility where you need to move it closer to your building, or maybe use a firewall, for instance, if
Yeah,
it's
that-
closer or whatever, that it falls within those requirements of doing that.
None of that is a problem. We can go quite a bit closer, and I am going to put the firewall there regardless.
Okay,
So,
okay. Does that seem more fair?
I guess that's up to the owner. Again, he's provided us information, says that he would be willing to shrink up that 13-foot distance to the house if needed.
Okay. Okay,
Well, how about as an option to that is approve it, and then,
based on survey.
well, we would be saying that he would need to get a survey. So if he does a survey and everything still fits in that point, then he can just keep right on going. But if he gets a
Right.
survey and it says, no, he doesn't have room to do it, then he would have to come back. So rather than having him get the survey up front and making him come back anyway, just approve it pending the survey. If the survey says he's got plenty of room to put it within there and it works, then he can keep going and doesn't have to come back at all. But if they do the survey and they determine that there's not enough room and doesn't fit, then he would have to come back and have a conversation with us again. So we can approve it pending an acceptable survey for the city's purposes. That way he doesn't have to plan on coming back unless that survey is
Right.
not conforming.
So we could approve it subject to the survey panning out and his.
Meeting the requirement.
And then he's
Okay,
gonna have to
okay.
know.
Materials
Yeah.
that are gonna go into it.
I was just
So you
thinking
don't
that
have to
he'd
do
have
one
to come
thing.
back
If
two
the- if the
times no
survey
matter
kicks
what,
it out,
and that's what I was
Then
trying
it's
to
fine.
avoid.
Otherwise,
is
then if the
not
survey doesn't work,
having a
then he's gotta
third.
come back in front of the panel at that point.
Okay, makes sense.
So I think we did that, not that, like a meeting or two ago.
I mean, like, based on this picture, I think it's fine, honestly. I just, there wasn't anything to see.
Yeah,
I think that was too big to get into the scanner.
Oh, okay.
Mr. Litsky, you have no objection to that motion we put on for? No.
No, board does not have any objection. Or, staff has no objection.
okay. So right now, Don, you
So
have
go
the
back to your
motion to approve
motion,
it
Don.
based per a survey.
The survey
Coming back
pans out
acceptable.
and the list of materials that will go into it.
Matches the look of the house, right?
Correct.
Okay,
Should we ask if there's anybody here?
yep, that's fine.
Right now,
Before
you
we,
need a
before we
second to
keep
it, I
moving.
guess.
Yep, we're still kind of open for a second. Do we have anybody in the audience here that's here for this particular item? No, okay. And we haven't got anything, I'm sorry.
What did you say?
Are you here for this gentleman's? Oh, okay, then, yeah, if you have any questions, you can certainly come up to the podium if you have any
Is the podium on?
objections or,
Does he
you
have
know.
that speaker on the
I want to
podium?
welcome you to my neighborhood.
I think he does.
I live across the
I think I see
street.
the light.
Oh, straight across?
Yes,
Okay.
here's my stuff. The house, I live across the street. There's a whole line of garages and.
Yep, ma'am, I'm sorry, if you could just scoot in front of the microphone for us, thank you.
Okay. Jehani and Susan's backyard is my view from my kitchen, and it's absolutely lovely. And I'm gonna miss it. But I fully support the improvement that they're proposing for their property. Their existing garage is minuscule, like Volkswagen bug size. I don't know that most of us would even consider it a garage anymore. And the necessity to park our second biggest investment, our cars, or motorcycles or boats, in our garages is really critical in this day and age. There's a lot of traffic on North Avenue, both pedestrian and vehicular. So I just want to welcome my new neighbors and say that even though this is going to impact my view, I fully support them in wanting to improve their property in this really significant and important way. Just so you're aware of it, there is a storm drain outlet that's curb backed that would be right in line with where their driveway is, and I hope that that's maintained because there's a lot of stormwater that runs down North Avenue when we get significant rains.
Yeah, the engineering department would work with them on that.
Good. I just figured that'd be part of the project. They're not gonna wanna have a speed bump in their driveway, so thank you for the opportunity to give input.
Thank you for coming.
So,
Okay. So right now we have the motion to approve pending the survey, making sure that's acceptable, and then the materials kind of go in line with the look of the home. Do we have a second?
Yeah, I'll make a second.
Okay, so we have a motion to approve and a second. Any further conversation,
I
questions?
call the question.
Thank you, Don. Okay, all in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, motion's passed.
all right, now what do I need to do?
So your next step, actually, I'm the building inspector for the north side. I was the one that you spoke on the phone with. And your next step will be to get a survey showing the location of the garage and apply for a building permit for your garage. You've got my contact information, I believe, so, you can give me a call and we can discuss it afterwards.
All right, so
You don't have to come to the next meeting.
just get the survey done and,
Yes.
That's correct. And as long as that survey is good and everything works out with the city, you can just keep right on going.
The primary thing is that you have to be 25 feet from your north property line. The distance between the garage and the house, that you can be flexible with. You just may have to have a firewall on the south side of that garage.
Which he was gonna
That's no
do.
problem, that firewall at all. Alrighty.
Perfect.
Get right on, thank you.
You're all set. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, moving to item number 6, we have a variance application by Revelous Investments LLC. Did I say that right?
So for the 2516 property?
Yes.
Yeah, I think they put that on the wrong.
That is the current owner that's listed on the property.
Okay.
Revelous Investments is?
Is that that brick building on the
Yeah.
corner of Superior Avenue?
Corner of 26 and Superior.
Okay. So I'll just keep, okay, so we'll just keep going here, so
Seems
that's,
to me that she was in here getting approval with her daughter a couple of years ago to
Oh.
get, change the zoning there or something.
okay.
There was a
So-
guy that lived behind her that was.
All right, so they're requesting to operate a painting business at 2516 Superior Avenue, currently zoned as SR5, which is suburban residential. This would be a non-conforming use. Okay, so I guess I'm a little confused. So right now, the current tenant or owner is Revelous Investments.
Correct.
Okay, and that's who owns it currently?
Yes.
Okay, and this is just a tenant who's discussing.
Potential buyer?
Potential.
Yeah, we're working on
Right.
purchasing it,
Oh, you're purchasing? okay, got
potentially
it.
right now, yes.
Okay, so I guess we'll go ahead and let you,
Under condition of that he can get approval to run his business there.
Yeah, so the
Gotcha.
building has been used commercially for, I think, since its existence. We're presently on the south side of town, and we're looking to grow. So it was a pretty good location. The building needs a lot of work, but I think it would work for us.
so right now, your conditional provision on the offer of purchase is whether you get approved for the use of the
Yeah,
painting business?
Yep.
Okay,
So why don't you give a little background as far as the use of the building? I mean, you're not going to be doing a lot of painting there, correct?
yeah, probably 80%. We're like a residential paint company. We do a lot of stuff on site. I would say maybe 20% of the stuff we do is in the shop. We function Monday through Thursdays. So there's not a ton of traffic in and out. We usually show up in the morning, grab our stuff and head out. Yeah. So the shop's more or less to like keep most of our equipment. We will be working there, 20% of the time, but it's not too much.
Okay.
do we know what was in there previously?
Is that Dr. Revelous?
So Dr.
Sounds-
Revelous was the owner.
Yeah.
And
Revelous,
it was
is
a
that the
furniture,
doctor?
furniture
What's that?
store.
That was
Dr.
furniture store before.
Revelous?
Yes.
It
I
was
think he's the
also,
current owner.
He's the owner.
handicap, yep,
Oh, yep,
the
okay,
wheelchair taxi was there before. It's
Yeah,
a
and there was
brick
also,
building.
yeah,
sorry, there was also, like previously, I think there was Vaughn Furniture was out of there. And then before then, it
It's right
was
by
the
Sheboygan
wheelchair
Paint
taxi
Company.
place. And then prior to that, there was like a welding, I think Blitzen Welding,
okay.
that functioned out of there too.
Yeah, they're half a block away from Sheboygan Paint Company.
Yep.
Yep, yep.
Okay, do we have any, Jeff,
Where you
anything
allow
from
the paint
from
company, you allow the
the city
painter.
with an issue on this, or?
So, staff recommends the approval of the use of the building as a paint facility. You do have some plans for updating the building on the outside?
Yeah. We put most of that in that 15 pages I submitted or whatever it was. Yeah, outside, there's a full, like, everything's gonna get painted, windows replaced, a bunch of concrete was gonna get replaced.
Is there a way I can get this on everybody else's? Ah, there we go.
Bam,
There we go.
there it is, all right, now we got it.
Okay, so this is the building off of Superior Avenue.
And you would own the whole freestanding building, correct?
Yeah. We wouldn't be
You're
modifying.
not having a tenant,
No,
it would be you.
just me.
Are you doing some improvements to the building itself in that lot right now, right?
Yes.
Okay, that's the plan,
Quite a few improvements.
okay.
So we're looking at some new doors, some new paint.
New doors, windows, paint. Now it's looking like a new roof.
Uh-oh.
We're running into some issues with that, but, yeah, just kind of clean it all up. Put the concrete in the front's kind of all really old, some new doors, new overhead doors as well. And then our vehicles, our 2 large vans will be parked inside. My truck, I just drive to and from work, so. And then those would be inside most of the time. Sometimes they'd be outside, but majority of the time they'll be parked inside. That was the big bonus with this building, is there's lots of interior parking, which we don't have now.
Okay, yeah, there's, looking to see if we had a street view. The front of the building right now on Superior, the asphalt is showing a little wear. Do you have any plans for that?
Yeah, that's all the concrete work.
Okay,
Clunk masonry, they do all the city stuff.
okay,
He's my neighbor across the road currently, and so the whole thing would be done. Right, like right now, the blacktop, you can't kind of see it from that picture, but part of that's actually, like the sidewalk is blacktop, so everything would be redone nice.
okay. So
So,
because this is a commercial property, make sure you work with engineering department, Ryan Sasma, to
Yep.
make sure that anytime we're looking at redoing parking lots on a commercial
Right.
building, just want to make sure that drainage plans
yeah,
are submitted.
All right, well, do I have,
Based on the information, I would make motion to approve.
okay. Do I have a second?
Second.
All right, so we have a motion to approve and a second. Do we have any more discussion?
That used to be owned by Cimarosity, didn't it?
Yeah, sounds like it's got a history. Okay, well, we have a motion and a second to approve, and no further discussion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, motion passes.
thank you.
You're ready to go? Yeah. Good luck.
Have a good one.
Thank you. Okay, last item on the list, number 7, we have a variance application by Alan and Sherry Bratz requesting to construct an 18-foot by 18-foot gazebo, 324 square feet, located at 1822 Tavoli Lane. Ma'am, hi. Come on up, let us know what we can do.
Well, I'd like to build a gazebo that is larger than the standard 200 square feet. We lost 52 ash trees in our backyard. We have virtually no shade. By putting up a gazebo, we will have some shade back there. And I need something that's large enough to accommodate my large family. So we have 4 kids, we have 8 grandchildren. When we all get together, we're a big bunch. And that 200 square feet does not accommodate us. So getting close to 14 by 14, if we put an 8-foot picnic table in there, we can barely get around that. And if I could go to 18 by 18, I can get 2 big picnic tables in there, and then that would accommodate everybody. So that's my reason for wanting to go bigger. We have a very large yard. We have talked with all of our neighbors. Our neighbors are on board. Everybody's looking forward to seeing what we're going to create back there. So looking for your support so that we can get something large enough for us
there you go.
to make it worthwhile for us.
Okay,
So staff has reviewed this. You have the list of the neighbors that have signed in their approval and agree that you have a very large backyard. You're locating it in the kind of northeast corner of it, back in the
Yes.
corner. The only thing that we would like to point out is it's a little different than a traditional gazebo. We've got walls for the most part, and we've got a door on it. The window openings do not have glass in them, correct?
Pardon me?
The window openings
No,
do not have glass,
No,
correct? They're
no.
just an opening in the wall?
no, no. The door will hopefully keep animals out of there.
So other than that, staff doesn't have a issue with the request, just a little different design than typical.
okay. Anybody have any questions? Comments?
What's the exterior material it's going to be made out of?
All wood. I have a very strong German heritage, so I'm kind of leaning towards that German beer garden look.
Okay. I'll make a motion to approve.
Okay, we have a motion to approve. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion to approve in a second. Do we have any further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Thank
Hearing
you.
none. Motion passes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Have a wonderful day. I think that's it. All right, so that went through that. Next meeting, as a reminder, June 15th, 2022. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Make a motion to adjourn.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All right, all in favor, say aye. Aye.
Okay.
Motion passes. All right. Thank you.
Where was that last week?